Scottish Flooring America, and we're talking about hardwood floors and the finishes. So tell our audience about hardwood floors. You do some hardwood floors, and what are the strengths and weaknesses of the hardwood floor?
Well, of course, solid hardwood floors. I mean, we get a lot of people that move out here from back east, and the first thing they do is they walk in and ask me for a solid wood floor. And
They're all on raised foundations, though.
yeah, in anything back east is a raised foundation. And they're used to having these really tight joint, sand and finished, completely smooth finished floors that they've had for years. And periodically they have somebody come in and recoat or resand them. And that's a beautiful thing, and it really is, and it's got that creaky old wood feel. Here, though, like I said, 90% of what we do is engineered because of the concrete slabs. Now, we can install plywood with a very, very substantial moisture barrier underneath it, where you actually nail that down into the concrete and then install your solid wood over the top. Solid wood is always put over plywood because it's nailed, and of course can't nail the wood into the concrete. But there are people that still want that, and they come here and they want it, and I can do it. They just need to understand, and it's my job to educate them that it does create height issues, and that floor is going to be a monster in the house. There's going to be big thresholds and things like that. It's going to
So let's make it easy for people to understand. So you're talking 3/4 oak, for example, with 1/2 inch. So you're 1.25 inches off the original slab, which is an uncomfortable step. So if someone's got a 3/8 tile with an 1/8 of thin set, they're at a 1/2 inch. So that's a whole 3/4 of an inch bump.
Yes, sir.
And that's a trip hazard.
And that is definitely the downside of putting plywood down. And actually, we use a 5/8 plywood because a 1/2 inch tends to warp a little bit easier than the 5/8. Some people use 3/4 inch plywood underneath. Now you've got a floor that's 1.5 inches tall. Take 1.5 inches and check that to your dishwasher, your back door, your bathroom tile floor, and it can be a problem. But there are situations where people want to do that. If they do, I'll make it happen.
So if they're doing it in the kitchen and you didn't have me put in a new kitchen for you at the time we do the hardwood floors,
Right.
then chances are you'll lock in. You won't be pulling that dishwasher up without
No.
ripping the counter off because you don't have enough space in between. So you want to be careful there.
Mm-hmm.
All the doors get trimmed up so that they can clear and open, and then they look funny when you have a lower door, lower carpet or something on the other side, besides the trip hazard. So something to think about. And what about the finishes? Are we having the same kind of issues with?
Well, the great thing about the engineered floors is most of the flooring today comes with an aluminum oxide finish. Aluminum oxide basically is a factory-built product that, as they apply the finish, they're able to inject into it very, very, very fine, minute particles of an aluminum byproduct, which makes the surface harder, longer lasting, less, less likely to crack, and more scratch resistant. This process has been around for about 10 years, and it's gotten really, really big in the last few years. There are products now that have what's called nanotechnology, where it's very, very small particles of metal byproducts put into the finish. And these finishes are a lot, or 10 times more durable than in the past. That's why you see finishes today that are warranted for 25 years. Back in the 80s and 90s, all the finishes, you'd see a 7-year or a maximum 10-year warranty. You'll see 25-year warranties now because the finishes are superior. The difference between a custom finish on a solid hardwood and a engineered finish is a custom finish is applied in the house. Because of that, we cannot create that nanotechnology or that aluminum oxide finish. We just have to put, traditional polyurethanes or water, and they're all water-based now because the EPA standards, especially here in California, really hold down, what we can and can't do as far as finishes.
Yeah, that's for our environment. So we're limited to the quality of finish we can put on.
Absolutely.
But they seem to be getting really good though with the water-based.
Well, yeah, there's finishes like Bona has a product called Traffic that we actually was designed for sport courts. We can use that into your house. Traffic finish tends to wear really well. And of course, the upside of the solid floor is in 5, 10, 15 years, you can have us come in and resand it and put a brand new finish on and change the color or whatever you want. Distress it if you want a distressed look, however you want it to do. That's the beauty of a solid floor.
Cool. So, what percentage of your jobs right now are you doing the oak, original oaks and original cherries? Is it a small percentage?
I would say probably maybe 5 to 10%.
So not a lot.
Not a lot.
And the rest of it would be
Engineered.
engineered wood. Okay, so you folks out there listening, you probably want to go with an engineered. That's not to say you're going to go with the click floor. What do they call that a laminate as opposed to an engineered?
Well, there's laminate floors, which are basically pressboard with a fake wood surface, which simulate wood, very durable. They just don't have the same feel as real wood. You lose a little bit of the comfort and the beauty.
Right.
And then there's engineered woods, which are actually tongue and groove. They interlock, are glued directly down. And then there's the solid floors that are nailed down. So that's the 3 type of wood flooring that there is.
Okay. All right, there's your little education on flooring. We're going to take a break again. This is Randall Winter with Greg Smith of Marty's Flooring America here in Santa Clarita at the hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.